our planet hides a horror of unimaginable depth. Imagine dropping the highest mountain on Earth into the deepest oceanic trench. Still more than 2 kilometers of water would cloak its summit. Visualize draining the seas and leaping into that void. You would fall for 3.5 minutes before touching the floor. 71% of Earth is water. Yet, we know the surface of Mars better than the floor beneath our own feet. Today we descend to the planet's most profound point. The camera pulls back from the glittering blue of the Pacific, the world's largest ocean, and a 3-dimensional ruler slides beside a towering peak that slowly sinks into the abyss of the Mariana Trench. A floating timer ticks 3 minutes and 30 seconds as a virtual object freefalls toward the darkness below. The silence of space gives way to the weight of water, and the scale of the unknown becomes starkly real. What lies beneath the glittering surface? As we cross the threshold where sunlight still reaches, the ocean transforms from a familiar horizon into a hidden realm. At the very top, a swarm of bright yellow rubber ducks drifts with invisible currents, tracing the pathways that later wash ashore on distant continents. Those tiny travelers revealed the hidden highways of surface circulation after a cargo of 30,000 ducks vanished in the Pacific in 1992. Below 30 meters, the light already wanes, and the sea becomes a repository for history. Wrecks like the World War II supply ship SS Thistlegorm and ancient Roman galleys laden with amphorae rest in quiet testimony to centuries of trade and conflict. Crossing 200 meters, the world above us fades, and the ocean's own darkness takes hold. The depth gauge slides down, the blue deepens, and bioluminescent shadows begin to stir. This is where the true mystery begins, and where we will uncover the creatures and forces that thrive where no sun reaches. If this is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep exploring together. Crossing the 200-meter mark, the sun's reach ends and a new world awakens. The gauge slides deeper, the water darkens to a midnight blue, and the first flickers of living light appear. Tiny organisms that generate their own glow, turning the abyss into a constellation of fireflies. Here, in the mesopelagic realm, the ocean becomes a theater of shadows and lures. Imagine a predator that never chases its prey, but instead hangs a glowing bait from a filament of flesh, waiting for an unsuspecting fish to wander close enough to be swallowed whole. The anglerfish, with its grotesque grin and luminous lure, epitomizes the ruthless ingenuity of life without sunlight. Its bioluminescent organ is a beacon in a sea of darkness, a false promise that leads to a swift, fatal embrace. Beyond the angler, the waters conceal a creature of legend, the giant squid. Its massive mantle can span the length of a school bus, its tentacles equipped with rows of serrated suckers that can grasp a ship's hull. Though rarely seen, the very existence of this leviathan has haunted sailors for centuries, a reminder that the deep still guards secrets beyond our imagination. Every night, a silent procession begins. Billions of tiny organisms, tiny crustaceans, lanternfish, and gelatinous medusae rise toward the surface in a vertical migration that rivals any human-made convoy. They travel a distance comparable to the height of the world's tallest skyscraper, only to descend again at dawn, feeding the surface world and then returning to the safety of the dark. This nightly ballet sustains the entire oceanic food chain, linking the sunlit surface to the perpetual night below. Now, descend further, past the 1,000-meter line, and you enter the realm known as the Midnight Zone. Here, the water is an inky black, broken only by the occasional flash of a camera's beam or the gentle drift of marine snow. Tiny particles of organic matter that fall like a silent snowfall from the layers above. This snow is the lifeblood of the deep feeding creatures that have adapted to a world where light is a memory. Among the inhabitants of this abyssal darkness is the vampire squid, a creature that resembles a cross between a squid and a jellyfish, its cloak-like webbing shimmering with iridescent photophores. It feeds not by hunting, but by filtering the marine snow, extracting nutrients from the detritus that settles from the upper layers. Nearby, the fangtooth fish patrols the gloom with teeth larger than its own head, a testament to the extreme adaptations required for survival at these crushing depths. At 3,800 meters, The wreck of the Titanic rests in solemn silence, a relic of human ambition now claimed by the sea. To grasp the enormity of this depth, picture the towering peak of a famous Japanese volcano, its summit lowered into the ocean until its tip barely grazes the wreck's deck. The sight is both humbling and eerie, a reminder that even the most celebrated monuments are fleeting against the timeless ocean. Deeper still, beyond the 4,000-meter threshold, lies the abyssal plain, a vast, seemingly endless desert of mud and sediment. Here, the seafloor stretches for thousands of kilometers, a barren landscape that, paradoxically, teems with life. Glass sponges, composed of intricate silica lattices, stand like delicate chandeliers, filtering water for microscopic particles and living for millennia without ever moving. When a whale dies and its massive carcass sinks to these depths, an extraordinary phenomenon unfolds: the whale fall. The colossal skeleton becomes an oasis, first attracting scavengers such as hagfish and sleeper sharks, then giving way to a community of bone-eating worms, crusted with bacteria that break down the organic material. This ecosystem can persist for decades, supporting a cascade of species that would otherwise starve in the nutrient-poor abyss. Amidst the desolate plains, hydrothermal vents spew superheated, mineral-rich water, creating oases of life that rely not on sunlight, but on chemosynthesis. Tiny bacteria convert the chemicals emitted by the vents into energy, forming the foundation of a food web that includes giant tube worms, blind shrimp, and yet-to-be-named organisms. These vents are laboratories of evolution, offering clues about how life might arise on icy moons, orbiting distant gas giants, where sunlight never reaches. Beyond the 6,000-meter mark, the ocean plunges into the hadal zone, a realm of crushing pressure and extreme isolation. Here, the water exerts a force equivalent to 8 tons per square inch, enough to flatten a car like a sheet of paper. The trench walls rise like the sides of a canyon that dwarfs the deepest valleys on land, and the seafloor is a jagged landscape of sharp ridges and soft mud. In the deepest known point, the Challenger Deep, the gauge finally steadies at 11,034 meters. The pressure here is so immense that even the most robust materials would crumble. Yet, life persists. Tiny snailfish, translucent and almost invisible, glide along the trench floor, while amphipods scuttle across the sediment, their bodies adapted to withstand the relentless squeeze. These organisms have evolved proteins that remain stable under pressure, a molecular marvel that scientists study to understand resilience in extreme environments. The hadal trenches are not merely geological curiosities, they are windows into the planet's inner workings. The tectonic plates that form these chasms are slowly grinding together, recycling the Earth's crust and releasing heat that fuels the hydrothermal systems we have already seen. In this perpetual cycle of creation and destruction, the ocean reveals its role as a dynamic engine of planetary change. As we ascend from the abyss, the water lightens, the gauge climbs, and the world above reappears. The journey from sunlit surface to the deepest trench has shown us a planet within a planet, a hidden universe of pressure, darkness, and astonishing adaptation. We have glimpsed creatures that glow in the black, ecosystems that thrive on the remains of giants, and vents that sustain life without a single photon of sunlight. What does this tell us about our own place in the cosmos? If an ocean covering 71% of Earth can conceal such mysteries, how much of the universe remains unseen, waiting for curious minds to uncover it? The ocean invites us to ask deeper questions, to push the boundaries of knowledge, and to respect the fragile balance that sustains life, both above and below the waves. If this descent into the unknown has sparked your curiosity, share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these hidden worlds fascinates you the most? And if you wish to continue exploring the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of our world, consider joining us on this journey. Together, we can illuminate the darkness, one discovery at a time.